Hey guys, Jam here, and welcome back to another Community Army Kitbash video. And in this one, as always, voted by you guys, as you can see on the screen right now, we're going to be doing a Scythes of the Emperor model. Now, to be honest, when I put this on the list for you guys to vote on, I didn't actually know much about the Scythes of the Emperor. Don't really know the lore or anything like that. I know occasionally they have images of dudes holding scythes, I guess. But while I was kind of like deep diving through, I found out that apparently they got their name from the world they were protecting was kind of like an agricultural world, like a lot of farming and stuff like that, and they respected the people, so they took on the scythes. And once again, this is lore that I've just kind of roughly caught up on. I don't know if all this stuff is 100% true. So my first thing is to make this mod look even slightly different to an ultramarine, is I have to incorporate that kind of scythe, sickle kind of thing going on. And I thought the scythe would obviously be a bit more of like a HQ, the guy that runs the company or something. So in this one I'm going to go for more of like a sickle blade, but we'll see that later. But my main point here is when I was looking through the lore, there was a guy, and I think he's actually dead now in the lore, but he was fighting some Tyranids and he lost his arm and half his face. And a lot of these like Scythes of the Emperor dudes did end up in the Death Watch as well, which obviously is perfect, and they absolutely hate Tyranids. So yeah, basically I thought it all kind of fit in really perfectly. They have a lot of people in the Death Watch, they hate Tyranids, there's a lot of stuff I can build off there. And I kind of like the idea of this kill team captain kind of guy. I think he was in the kill team when he lost his face and stuff. But yeah, I like the idea of this dude, even though he's deceased. I'm going to try and do something like that. So anyway, let's get cracking. So obviously the first thing, like I said, is the main kind of distinguishes this model from any normal Space Marine, because they don't have much like imagery and stuff on them, is the whole scythe sickle thing. So I found this spear from the Chaos Warrior or Chaos Knight kit from Age of Sigmar, and I figured the blade of this kind of has like a sickle vibe to it. I do have some scythes lying around, but I didn't want to go too over the top of the whole scythe thing. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off all the kind of back spikes and that longer spike coming out the side. Get this looking more like a sword blade. And once that's all done, then I'll use my clippers to just kind of cut the blade down until we get it into the size that we want. But of course we also have to get rid of the kind of chaosy arrow, so I'm just getting rid of the side points to get it looking, well, not so chaosy, I guess. Now that I've cut the blade off, what I've got to do is I've got to find an arm and a kind of sword grip kind of thing for the blade to go onto. So obviously I found this one from the Reaver's kit. It's going in the position and everything that I want, so I'm just going to cut that blade off, smooth that bottom area out, and then just kind of dry fit the blade on there, see if it fits. Then if I need to cut a little bit off, dry fit again, and just do that until the blade fits on, which luckily this blade happened to be the perfect width and everything for this, so it actually turned out pretty well. Now that we've got that arm sorted, before we start gluing it all together, I needed to find a robotic arm, because like I said before, this guy lost his arm fighting a Tyranid. Now I found the plasma pistol one from the easy to make assault intercessors. You got an Indomitus and the starter sets and all that. Yeah, that kit comes with a really nice robotic arm. And I know having a gun and stuff and a plasma pistol, I don't think that's exactly WYSIWYG for an intercessor sergeant, but you know, ruler cool just has to kind of win out sometimes. So yeah, nothing too fancy. I'm literally just gluing that arm on. I'm not doing anything different. And as always, the great thing about using plastic glue is the drying time. So while I've got that robotic gun arm on there and I can still move it around, I'll slap on the sword arm as well, and then we can kind of get the position we want. We can move things up and down and all that kind of good stuff. And that's basically the main pose and the theme of the model done at this point. Now obviously, like I said, this guy's going to be an intercessor sergeant, and he's going to have an assault bolter because I need one of them to run my squad. So I got this one when he's kind of got the sling holding it onto the shoulder, and I'm just going to cut that off. And originally the plan was to get that to fit under the arm, but there wasn't quite enough space. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stick it under the backpack as well. So I think it turned out alright. So yeah, that was just a really small detail there, but I think it helps give the model a bit of character and bulks him out a bit more. But now what's really going to give this guy some character is his head, as always. That's always the focal point of most miniatures. And like I said at the beginning of the story, the guy lost an arm, replaced it with a bionic one, and he also lost his face. Well, half of his face. So I got this head from the Indomitus Chaplain, and I thought this head would be perfect. Now obviously you can get these kind of robotic, half robotic ones from like the Iron Warriors upgrade sprue, I think it is. Or Iron Hands, I always forget which one it is. It's Iron Hands, right? But yeah, you get those kind of faces everywhere, but I'm going to use this chaplain once and I cut him off that little peg and just glue him in place. Once again, not doing anything, no green stuff this time, just sticking the head on. Now this is something a little bit different actually. One of my viewers and a member of my Discord channel, they accidentally bought some 3D printed shoulder logo things, but it was the wrong ones, and so they sent me the ones they got, because they know I'm doing this whole Death Watch thing, so it's going to come in super handy. Thank you very much for that. And conveniently, there was actually a Scythes of the Emperor one in there. Now, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about these. I don't know if it kind of like they stand out too much on the shoulder pad, but I thought I'd give it a go. And it also helped bulk out that shoulder pad. So yeah, just stick that Scythes of the Emperor logo on there. I'll try to find out where this is from. If you want to buy some in the future, I'll link it down below or something like that. So yeah, this thing is looking pretty good so far. But like I said at the beginning of the video, there's not much like official artwork and stuff of these guys. There's one artwork that I've seen kind of pop up a lot of times, and it's this one I'll have on screen now. And as you can see, the guy's kind of got like a clothy loincloth vibe going on. So I thought it was time to whip out the green stuff, you know, just make a little tattered bit of cloth there, nothing too crazy, super simple. Just to give him an extra bit of bulk and character. I can't just leave him standard like this. Now as always, I just go 50-50 with the two different colors, nothing special. But this is actually a new roll of green stuff. And it's made me realize that how old and crappy my old stuff was, because this stuff is so much softer and easier to use. So I really got to revisit some of my beard work and stuff like that, because I think it'll be much easier with this new green stuff. But I digress. All I do is I kind of roll the ball out flat, cut it into the rough kind of shape that I want the loinclothy thing to be. Now I do this in like 2 different attempts because I just didn't like the look of the first go. The second go I kind of have it slightly less tattered and I make it a bit longer. But yeah, like I said, it's just a flat piece of green stuff, roughing it up with my like hobby knife or toothpick or something, and smoothing it out with a wet or damp paintbrush. Once again, really nothing too fancy here, just, you know, something everybody can do. But yeah, you got to add a bit of like tattedness to them. For first of all, your Marines generally are going to be on a battlefield, so they're going to be worn. This guy's going to be fighting Tyranids. It just looks a lot better than just having a flat, plain bit of cloth. But if you can make it work, you can make it work. Now, once again, because my Scythes of the Emperor guy is going to be in the Death Watch, I do need to add some accessories, you know, bombs, bags, make them look a little bit more tactical. But also, like I said before, these guys in their normal chapter hate Tyranids, and he's in the Death Watch as well. So I felt like I needed to get some Tyranid skulls in there. Now, I did play around getting like some on the backpack and everything, but I felt like it just kind of took you away from the face and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is just slap a little Tyranid skull under his kind of like arm next to his gun. Something not too in your face, but it's a small detail. When you look, you'll see it's there. And like I said, I've got to do bags and stuff. So both of these are from the intercessor kit. Just a pistol holster on the one side. And the other side I want to put some bags and pouches, but because I've got the skull, it doesn't quite fit. So I have to cut one of the bags off, and then I just glue it on there. Then you can't be Death Watch without having some sort of tactical goodness strapped to your chest. So obviously got these, I don't know actually know what they are, like detonation switches or some sort of bomby goodness. So I'm going to stick that on there. Just the one, like I said, I don't want to overdo it. He's got so many bags around his waist and stuff already. And last but certainly not least, we've got to get some purity seals on there. That artwork has purity seals, and I just love purity seals. It always gives your model a lot of movement and, I don't know, makes them look a little bit more dynamic. It's a little bit of a pop of a different color, especially because these guys are going to be like black armored, so having that paper color in there really, really helps. So I'll stick one to the bottom of the leg and one on the backpack. Now I'm not 100% sure on it, but you know, it'll look fine once it's painted up, I reckon. But yeah, with that, this model is done. Now let's cut to a little twirly showcase so you guys can see what it looks like. And there we have it, guys. He's all done and dusted. Now, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this one, because I don't know if he really looks like a Scythes of the Emperor, because I didn't give him a scythe, if you know what I mean. He doesn't really stand out. I don't know if this kind of sickle sword really sells it enough. And like I said, there isn't much on them, so it's kind of hard to find a distinguishing look apart from the whole Scythe thing. Which in retrospect, thinking about it now, I would have only had like one in the army. I probably should have just gone for the Scythe. But I don't know, you guys let me know below. I think he looks like a cool marine, maybe just not quite Scythe the Emperor enough. But I think if you had a whole army of Scythes of the Emperor, this guy would fit in. But when you're amongst a whole bunch of chapters, yeah, like I said, maybe just not quite enough. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video anyway. Not a very complicated or long one this week. If you did enjoy it, like the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, then definitely do that because I release hobby content like this every single week. And as always, I do have a Patreon and a Discord as well if you want to support the channel in any way. But until the next one, guys, bye-bye.